FM.
All right, the new drug is it's the eve of a gigantic. Okay, maybe not gigantic. I might have embellished a bit there. I'm not afraid to embellish, It's the eve, though, of a preseason game.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited.
Let's go get some confidence.
Yeah, people
and
in
look good.
People in the stands, people in uniforms running out.
Yeah.
A national anthem. I heard they're going to have one of those.
We've got uniforms and everything. It's really great.
I can't wait. So, yeah, well said. All right, glad you're with us on a Friday. We always want to thank our friends from Big Chief Tire. Always a Big Chief Tire Friday around here with 6 locations on the First Coast. Orange Park and Mandarin are the 2 newest ones. Before that, of course, the north side, the south side, 2 on the west side. No Pete Prisco today. Pete is traveling. He is very busy during the preseason, going from camp to camp, as you know. So we got him right when he is en route today. So we won't have Pete today on the program, but we'll certainly prepare you for the first preseason game. I'm really excited about it. I hope fans are excited. I know they are. We've been telling you, and we'll continue to tell you, your in-stadium experience is going to be very good. Do expect to be a little different when you enter the stadium. They're trying to work through that. And again, know this too. And Mark Lamping said it on our show a week ago today. Chad Johnson said it at his press conference yesterday. The whole goal here is to have a state-of-the-art stadium, which they're going to have, the likes of which you've never seen before. I'm serious about that. The likes of which the league's never seen before. And, oh, by the way, only be gone from Jacksonville for 1 year. That's the goal. How do you pull that all off and only be gone for 1 year? Because that's what people wanted. And so anything you might go through getting to the game tomorrow and the other home dates are part of that overall goal. And I think people remember that. And, again, like Chad said yesterday, once you're in the stadium, everything will seem the way it always has. So you know that, and again, it might change week to week. What you do know is you got football tomorrow night, and you got starters. I've been thinking about this. I wonder if there's a play count. You would think, right? I mean, they're not going to play for a long time, but I've done this long enough now that I've heard coaches say they're going to play for one drive. I've heard other coaches say at a different period they're going to play for a quarter. Anthony Richardson was supposed to play a half last night before he hurt his finger. He was going to play for a half. And Daniel Jones was supposed to play a half next week. Now they may change that around because Jones came into the game early last night. But the point is, I've heard quarter, I've heard half. I've heard some coaches say 25 plays, 15 plays. What's your guess tomorrow night for Trevor and the starters?
I think it's going to be more into the 20 to 25 snaps. Now, I think
that's a full quarter then.
I think that's the plan. And then, but my guess would be if something really good happens on either side of the ball, like that might, I don't mean like if the defense gets a pick six to open the game,
I got you.
The offensive guys aren't even going to go out there. But my point is collectively, if the defense goes and does something great, if they get a takeaway on the first drive, if it's a 3-and-out, I think you put them back out there. But if they go get a turnover on the first drive, that might be enough. Because that is something that brings a high level of energy moving forward. If offensively you go down and it's, you drive the length of the field and score a touchdown, even if you do that in 4 plays, that'd probably be enough. So I think the big thing is to come out of tomorrow with some confidence. And I think if you can do something positive, then you think about getting them out. But look, every coach is different. I was stunned that Jamar Chase was catching footballs last night in a preseason game. I understand Cincinnati got off to a slow start last year, but that is such a risk in terms of having Burrow and Chase out there. And Burrow threw it 10 times. He was 9 of 10. And like I said, Jamar Chase, very active, 77 yards and a touchdown. So, but they got away with it, and that's good. And those guys came out of the game healthy, and now they're sharper. They have less rust. So, I would think it's more at a max 20 to 25 snaps, but if something really good happens earlier than that, you pat them on the back and take them off the field.
Yeah, and I would say that what you described, I have seen many times, that I've seen enough. He was scheduled to play 20 plays. He's played 13. I've seen enough. I've seen that happen. I've rarely seen it go the other way, where he was scheduled to play 20, he being a quarterback, but he started out 4 of 10, so I'll leave him in an extra series. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it go that way very often. So the way you're talking about, I haven't seen. So we'll see. My gut is maybe fewer plays. My gut is really a series, but my gut also was they weren't playing. So it shows you how good my gut is.
And again, we had 3 games last night in a variety of different things. Pete Carroll with the Raiders had Geno Smith start, but he only played like 5 snaps.
Yeah.
And that was it. And they were done. So it was one series. I think Geno was like 1 of 3.
And the plan there was, didn't mean to interrupt you, but I talked about this yesterday. Sometime that was way more about just that drive. That was about getting warmed up. That was about putting your uniform on, stretching properly, getting enough warm-up throws in to start the game. Once that part of the dress rehearsal, for Pete Carroll last night, once that part of the dress rehearsal was over, he could have played 3 plays. You know what I mean? I think that was what Pete Carroll had in mind. It was very clear that was what he had in mind.
Yeah, and then you had the Eagles sat like 25 guys last night against the Bengals. The Ravens chose to sit a lot of guys. I mean, but the Anthony Richardson injury, that is a huge story. I mean, we talked about it. Like, if you ranked the top 10 things that cannot happen for the Jaguars that are beyond their control,
right?
The Colts finally getting Anthony Richardson to figure it out would have to be very high, if not 1 on that list. And it couldn't have gone better for the Jaguars last night. He still has no idea how to pick up a blitz at all. That was not on the offensive line. You can sit there and blame Shane Steichen for not having a starting offensive line out there, but on that instance, that is on Richardson.
He even said that.
To his credit, yeah.
He even said afterwards, right. I got to be able to see that.
But, I mean, that's the kind of sack a true freshman in college takes.
Right.
I mean, not just to take the sack, but to have no presence of mind that the defender is barreling down on you. I mean, it was stunning, but it was so typical of what we've seen out of Anthony Richardson, and it really puts the Colts in a bad spot.
Yeah, from an injury standpoint, he's probably going to be okay. He hurt his finger. They think he could play next week. That's not your point. Your point is it doesn't look like that awareness has gotten better.
No, it was the kind of thing you just cannot make that mistake in the NFL. And and now to your point about what Steichen had said he wanted to do, now you do have to wonder, does he switch it up and go with Richardson as the starter in the second game as well, because Daniel Jones got so much time in this game? But then that's not really fair to Daniel Jones, who had to kind of jump in there unexpectedly. So they'll sort of give away where this is going by who starts that second game. Because if he starts Richardson, what they'll be telling you is, we really want it to be Richardson week 1, and we're going to give him every opportunity. If it's Jones, then I think it sets up really well for Daniel Jones to be the week 1 starter in Indianapolis. So, but just a terrible night for the Colts in regards to that. And Richardson's not expected to miss much time.
Yeah, the injury.
But I'm going to go out on a limb and say his pinky finger being dislocated on his throwing hand probably isn't beneficial for, his further development.
The bigger issue is what you said. Is it indicative of the fact that awareness and eyes in the back of your head and being able to sense stuff hasn't gotten better?
I mean, do you honestly think the Ravens are trying to throw something exotic at the Colts in game 1 of the preseason? Well, again, it was a very simple blitz to pick up.
And Richardson, again, to his credit, he said that.
Oh, you couldn't ask for a more accountability. I mean, he always admits his mistakes, which is great. But they got to stop. I mean, at some point, you've got to stop making those mistakes.
So today on the program, we'll talk a little bit about what happened last night. We'll get to it. But we'll talk some Jaguars football. We come back. I want to get into position by position. We're going to go every one of them. What do you want to see from each position? We're going to go through specific names. We're going to kind of preview the Jags Steelers by going position by position and seeing what do you want to see? What are your hopes? Later on, we'll talk a little bit about all the games last night, who played, who didn't. We'll kind of get through the start to the NFL season. We'll talk about that. A little bit of college football, a scare for LSU. Now, it might just be a minor scare.
Yeah.
But when it's the knee, it's great to come out and say, his knee's not really hurt. It's just a little bit hurt.
Right.
But we're not talking about an elbow or a thigh here. We're not talking about a rib cage or a core injury. We're talking about the knee. And so a knee in football is a big deal. So certainly we will certainly talk about that. I got a thought or two about baseball that comes up later on in the program as well. Got a lot of fun stuff to do. Man, oh man, we love having you with us on the eve of the first preseason game. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. You get the drill. They've got it, and they've got it waiting for you. And you know, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about demo models for deeper discounts. The bottom line is this. You head to Nimnick Chevrolet, and you're going to wind up getting a great, great deal. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
Get an inside look at football's greatest position with Denny Thompson.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Hey, Hicken here, and every Friday I'll help you put together your sports weekend so you know where you want to go and what you want to do. Watch for Musings with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook, locked down by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
You wouldn't drive your car 50,000 miles without an oil change, so why are you ignoring your septic tank? Septic tanks need to be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic pump out with the pros at Duck Duck Rooter.
A new era of women's professional soccer has arrived. The Gainbridge Super League, redefining the game for the next generation. Sporting Jacks, the first ever pro women's team on the First Coast. Be there for history. Secure your tickets now at sportingjacks.com.
When you buy online, you really cannot tell because you're not looking at the stone. So it's impossible to buy a stone online that you could really see everything about it. You have to buy a diamond in person.
That's John Lupo at Beards Diamonds, who says one big mistake is trying to buy a diamond online. Because each diamond is unique, you need to examine it for yourself.
Otherwise, you can get fooled, you can get tricked, and that's not a good thing when you're spending thousands of dollars.
At Beards, John's son Ben says they give each customer the ability to compare multiple diamonds in their price range. Not just on paper, but up close inside and outside.
Go outside in the natural daylight. That's the best test to be able to see the exact color in the stone, see the brilliance in the stone, and the fire and the scintillation, which is very, very important.
People want to know what they're spending this money on, and they also want to be protected.
That's why Beards takes it a step farther with a money-back guarantee and a trade-up policy that guarantees you will always get what you paid when you upgrade. Buy with confidence at locally owned Beards Diamonds in St. John's Town Center.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
Hey, Frangie Hayes Carline, little JJ La Selva with you. What time you head to the ballpark tomorrow night? Will you get up, eat your peanut butter and jelly, head on over?
I'll probably try and get there around 6 a.m. First Bloody Mary at 6:03.
Well, now you're off and running.
Yeah.
That's what you are. So what time do you get there? What time do you get there? When you cover a game, when do you generally get there?
I mean,
7 o'clock kick.
Yeah, for a 7 o'clock kick, we don't have a kickoff show tomorrow. So I'll probably leave the house at like 4:20, get there at 5.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right,
a couple hours. I may move that ahead. I do remember one time the Jaguars hosted the Steelers in a preseason game, and I was a little late leaving the house. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And because of the Steelers fans,
right,
I missed kickoff. I literally didn't get, there was so much traffic. I didn't get there until probably like 12 minutes left in the first quarter, got to my seat. Now, again, in preseason game, it didn't really matter. But yeah, so I'm always a little scarred from that experience. So when the Steelers are in town.
Yeah, good point.
Like, I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, I'll probably leave at 4:20, but I probably will move that more to like 3:20 for the Steelers factor.
I wonder if it'll be like it normally is when the Steelers are here. I mean, it's a preseason game. The Stars aren't playing.
I was shocked that year.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember if there was something – I can't remember if there was something special going on with Pittsburgh that year that why it would be heightened.
Yeah.
But I think it's just how it is.
Yeah, and I've told
but it was definitely a preseason. It wasn't like a regular season game because I would have never have pushed it like I did. But I was like, it's preseason and no one's going to be there. And I got to the Hart Bridge or like a mile from the Hart Bridge and it was stop and go. And I was like, oh, there must be like a terrible accident or something. And got all the way through it. No, it was a lot of Steelers fans that, didn't really know their way around, which is you would expect. So anyway, so because of that, I'll probably give myself more time. Plus, obviously, the construction and things like that. We're parking in a different lot. They'll. So anyway, I mean, to answer your question, maybe I will get there at 6 a.m.
JJ, you don't think those Pittsburgh fans will stay home and watch one of those 67 Pirates wins, do you? They won't sit home for that.
It's an exciting part of the season for them.
I mean, there's 66.
I mean, they're making a playoff run.
I mean, there's 66 other ones, so why would you stay home for that one? And by the way, we've told the story before. The reason the Steelers pack all these stadiums, it's not because they travel to the games. I've told this story before because my family's been part of this and my cousins were part of this. There was so much work in the steel mills. All right. And in the 70s, the Steelers were really good. They won 4 Super Bowls. They were all the talk of not just football, but sports in the 70s when I was a kid. And all my cousins lost their mind. The steel industry started shutting down. And that was really prominent in Western Pennsylvania. It was prominent in other parts of Pennsylvania and in Ohio, but it was really prominent in Western Pennsylvania. So the steel mills, I mean, it was an incredible, one of the great shutdowns of an industry in American history. And so it started shutting down. Well, I had 4 cousins that worked in the steel industry. I mean, that's just me. So there's so many people. Well, what happened was people couldn't get work, and the work was all going to the Sun Belt. So in the early 80s, when they started shutting down, all these people, presumably Steeler fans, millions of them, they moved. And you know where they went? They went to Jacksonville and Charlotte and Dallas and Phoenix and Atlanta, and that's where they went and had kids. And so they're Steeler fans, and their kids are Steeler fans. And now they're Steeler fans in Charlotte and Dallas and Phoenix. That's why it's like that. It's not like Pittsburgh fans get on a plane more than other fans do. It's not that. It's just wherever you are, they're there because they migrated there when the steel mills shut down. And it's really an interesting story. And so that's why when they play in Phoenix or when they play in Dallas or where they play in Houston, it doesn't matter. It's not if you've ever gone to here to Everbank and go, why are there all these terrible towels? Because they're everywhere they play. And it's because they live there, not because they travel there as much. Nonetheless, the Jags tomorrow against the Steelers. The Jags will be playing starters. The Steelers looks like they will not be playing them.
What time will you get there?
When the game kicks at 7, I generally try and be setting up my booth 3 hours before. That's kind of I'm generally 3 hours. My first hit is about an hour and 10 minutes before, but I try 2.5, 3 hours before to be kind of setting up the booth, so I'm not hurrying. So I'll hopefully be in my seat at 4 or so, somewhere thereabouts, somewhere give or take. And like you, with construction, I think I'm there early enough that the influx of opposing fans isn't as big a deal. But the construction works, so yeah, somewhere thereabouts. So I can't wait. I mean, tonight I'll be waking up early. Can't wait to go to one.
It's always strange for me leaving my house to go to a game because the kickoff show, because obviously in the regular season, if for a home game, we're at Tailgaters and it's 8 to 10, and then you're there. Obviously, you just go across the street to the stadium. So I'm there at 10:05. Yeah, for a 1 o'clock kick, and so it is a little different tomorrow. But yeah, we'll just add some extra time, but I can't wait for the game. I think confidence should be high that the Jaguars do look good because of Tomlin's announced how many Steelers are not playing, and it's a significant amount.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. All right, let's start. Let's start with quarterback. What do you want to see from Trevor? Do you care what you see from the other 2 or 3? What are your expectations and hopes tomorrow? And I'm going to go through every position here. We're going to take some time on this one. But let's start with the obvious one. Let's start with quarterback.
I want to see Trevor Lawrence with a passer rating over 120 tomorrow. That's my metric. I think he should light this group up. And again, 120 is not asking for the moon. It's asking for a good performance, but it's certainly not. We saw even last night there was some quarterbacks that were going over that. So I mean, again, he doesn't have to be Joe Burrow, 9 to 10, 2 touchdowns, no picks, but it should feel like they're playing the backups. I mean, if Trevor isn't, if they're not hitting explosive plays, I mean, it should feel like kind of like it felt in the mock game where, Trevor looked in control the entire time. There was, one instance late in the scrimmage where you had 2 guys not really knowing the route they were supposed to run, and Trevor still should have thrown the ball away, but still threw it in the end zone and got picked. But he looked good when we saw him in the stadium a week ago today. That's what I'm expecting. I mean, I get it. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers, but if they're not playing their starters, there is no reason Trevor Lawrence, assuming he gets help, guys can't be dropping the ball left and right. But I would anticipate Trevor Lawrence looking very good. I don't care at all what anybody else does at quarterback for the Jaguars. Yeah. I just don't. If something happens to Trevor Lawrence, the season's over.
I agree with that. I hope Trevor looks efficient. I'm not as caught up in the numbers. I hope he doesn't look confused. I hope he looks efficient. I hope he hits the open guy. I kind of hope as a play-by-play guy / fan, he plays a few series so we get to see him for a quarter. My guess is one series. I'm guessing one to the point you made earlier. One good series and out, it might be what you see. So we'll see. But I'm going to guess. But I hope he looks efficient. And look, Joe Burrow was 9 to 10 last night. In an easy setting, I hope Trevor completes most of the throws. That's what I hope, and maybe that leads to the passer rating you're talking about. But I hope he completes most of his throws. I hope he looks efficient. The backup guys, for the sake of the fans, I hope somebody emerges. I do care what they do with the backups because I hope somebody, if the team's decent, and I think they might be, I hope somebody emerges that looks functional if he's going to be down a few games. Now, you're right. If he's out for the year, it's a different conversation. But I do hope somebody, I assume it's Nick Mullins. That's who they want it to be. That's who they paid to come here. But I hope Nick Mullins, I don't know that his arm's as good as Johnny Wolford's, by the way. I think Johnny Wolford's got the better of the 2 arms. Seth Hennigan, I think, is a camp arm. But I hope somebody emerges as a guy that you start 4-1 and everybody feels pretty good about who you are, and then Trevor twists an ankle, that there's somebody that goes in there and is functional. So that's what I'll kind of look for with the backup spot. Running backs, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the rookies. I mean, I think they are going to be primed for a big performance tomorrow night because, again, it's going to be Bigsby and Etienne going against the second string for the Steelers. So when you do get Bashal Tutin and LaQuint Allen in there, they're going to be going up against really the bottom, whatever the bottom is of the Steelers defense. That's what the rookies are going to see. And the way they've looked in camp, I think they're gonna make their mark, and certainly Jaquindon Jackson as well is somebody that's gained some steam here, gained some momentum, and kind of has made it a 5-man battle. And obviously I think he's going to get, a pretty good amount of work as well. So I think all 5 have a chance to have something special happen. I mean, for a preseason game, an explosive play happen. But I really think Tootin and Allen are the ones that you're going to really learn a lot about tomorrow night.
Yeah, I want to see. I'm really looking forward to all of them playing. But I hope Bigsby or Etienne looks solid going in. I want to have a solid room there. But I'm like you. Bashal Tootin strikes me as the guy that might be a special player. But I'll tell you, LaQuint Allen, he rushed for 2,000 yards his last 2 years. People don't realize, we're so, and I'm guiltiest of the guilty here, so caught up in what he has been as a pass receiver, because he's a really good best pass receiving back in college football last year. I lost sight of the fact that 2 years ago he rushed for 1,100 yards and last year 900 yards. Hey, he rushed for 2,000 yards, and I got to believe Syracuse wasn't always blocking Clemson and Miami and whoever they played, right? So I think he's pretty good back, so we'll see. Receiver room.
Well, obviously it starts with Travis Hunter. I mean, in terms of how much is he going to play on the offensive side, we know he is going to play on the offensive side, but how much? I mean, can you imagine what the electricity will be in that building tomorrow night if Trevor hits Travis for a 60-yard touchdown? I mean, it'd be unbelievable. And so it starts there. Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't had a great camp, but he's a proven commodity to me. I mean, and he looked good in the mock game the other night when they were in the stadium. So I wouldn't be surprised if BT had a nice performance. De'Ami Brown certainly probably have a couple of catches, but Travis Hunter is the one that I think has the chance to. And I almost think there will be almost a directive. That it will be not a directive's too strong. I think it will be something self-imposed, but something that Liam Cohen and his offensive staff, I think that's going to be a high priority, is to do something special in front of these fans with Travis Hunter and, again, help build that confidence and build that fear factor for Carolina and the opponents to come on what Travis Hunter can be.
I want to see the 3 of them out there together, and I want to see somebody down the field. I am so jacked about what I think this 3-receiver combination will be. I am so excited about watching them run combo routes together. I'll throw Brenton Strange into. That's what I'm most excited about. And come Carolina week, when they're going to play the whole game, that's what I'm going to be most excited. So I want to see all of them together. I want to see a ball down the field. I want to see 1 or 2 balls down the field, because I think it's very unusual to see a group of 3 that all run that fast. Again, usually you see one really fast guy outside, a pretty fast guy on the other outside, and then a guy that's not as fast but works the middle of the zone to the slot. They have 3 fast guys, so I can't wait to see that. I'm looking forward to that. Finally, the offensive front before we break. I'll get to the defense after the break, but offensive front, that one's interesting. What do you expect to see rotation-wise? Because I got some thoughts on that. What do you?
I think that one is really hard to predict in terms of how they are going to look, and the variety of lineups that we could see even in the first quarter, is they're trying to make sure that their top guys get work. So, I mean, I think it's a murky picture in terms of who is going to be in what slot. I think a big thing too is with Patrick McCary. What is he able to do? He has been practicing, and he's been kind of ramping it back up, but we haven't seen him do a lot of the real physical stuff, the team stuff, the one-on-ones. So if they don't, I am curious to see if they will play him. To me, that's sort of on the fence. If McCary is playing, then I think we'll get a really good idea of how they, at least at this point, view their lineup. If he's out, it's going to be hard to put a lot of stock in where anybody really plays, but it will be really interesting to see how they go about deploying these guys and who is in what spot and with what rotation.
I think you're going to see Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, McCary, Anton to start. But then I think you're going to see him move it around. I think Anton's going to play both sides. I'll bet. No, I haven't been told this. I'm my guess. I'll bet he's going to play both sides. Aduba is obviously Adoba is actually going to play right guard some. You know that because he's played very well there. I wouldn't be surprised to see McCary play a second position. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is when guys move around a little bit, where do you wind up seeing them? That'll be the best rotation of the night. And I'll be in. If you're sick about this team like we are, and you follow everything as closely as we do, and a lot of our listeners do, you're going to pay attention to stuff like that. I can't wait to see it. We'll take a break. What about the defensive guys? We'll talk about that after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell and Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell and Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. The 2025 Topps Baseball Complete Set is on shelves this week. The combo of Topps Series 1 and 2 has 700 cards in the factory sealed format. Complete sets are great ideas for birthday gifts for your sports fan. Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. I'm RJ, and it's just so easy. Order online at kuhnflowers.com, Jacksonville, and Ponte Vedra.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor, lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on the Frangie Show. For all of your tires tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We thank our friends from Big Chief Tire. Man, they're good folks. A local company for more than 60 years. They've been knocking it out of the park for you. 6 locations. If you can hear me now, you're close to a Big Chief Tire. Tires and automotive service, oil change. I promise you, all the station vehicles, we take them over to Big Chief. Anything goes wrong with one of our piece of equipment here, we go to Big Chief Tire Company. They do a great job. Tires, automotive service, oil changes, brakes, alignments. They do it all, and they do it the right way. They treat you right. You'll love dealing with my friends at Big Chief Tire. They keep Jacks rolling. Frangie, Carline, LaSelva with you as we continue along on the night before the first preseason game. We talked about offensive guys. And listen, we love offense. That's what people love. So we're talking more about offense than anything else. But I'll start with defense, the defensive line. What do you want? What do you want, Carline? You want a sack, don't you?
Yeah.
You want a sack. You want a spin move and a sack.
Yeah, you want to see some chaos from Trayvon and from Josh Hines-Allen. And, again, you should have an expectation of seeing that. I would imagine, obviously, with Aaron Rodgers not playing. And so, I think it starts there. You want to see the 2 stars shine against what should be inferior competition. And I would say just can the defensive tackles just kind of hold up? You don't want to get gashed by Pittsburgh's second unit offensive line, but I think it's asking too much maybe for the defensive tackles minus Armstead and Mason Smith to create any sort of interior pass rush or anything like that. They should be able to defend the run okay, but I would be surprised if you see any of those interior guys with pressures.
What I want to see is an interior guy show up, an interior guy make a play, an interior guy. I think all of us that have followed this team and it is procurement of players as closely as we all have all this time, all of us, or many of us, let me say it that way, our biggest concern is that defensive front, the defensive tackles, not the ends, the defensive tackles. Man, I'd love to see one guy show, Austin Johnson show up, Devon Hamilton show up, Tyler Lacey make a play, even just to give us hope at that spot, because I will tell you, I'm concerned about that position. You have to be good at defensive tackle to be good in the NFL. You have to. Yeah, everyone says you're as good as your defensive line. Well, that's not just the ends. It's the tackles. And you have to be good at that spot, man. So that one concerns me. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. So, look, I hope Josh and Trayvon are great, but I'm confident if they play a play or two and are gone, I'm good with that. If Ogba and Smoot and all the rest of them, I'm fine with that. But I'd love to see one of those tackles who are playing tonight make a play or tomorrow night make a play. Linebacker.
I'm excited about Jack Kaiser. I think this could be a game where, he kind of announces himself to the fan base in terms of somebody that fans can start rallying around and getting excited about for his future. He's more long-term than in the present, but obviously you feel good about Foye. You know what he can do. I think then you've got sort of a hodgepodge of younger guys that are, and Kaiser among them. Kaiser the youngest, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Kaiser has more than 7 tackles, which in a preseason game where you're probably playing limited amount of snaps would be a huge number.
I want to see. I'm with you. I know what Foye Oluokun can do. If Foye makes a play, that's fine. I don't care. I care, but I know I'm good there. I want to see one of those 3 guys. Devin Lloyd, who's in a contract year as a first-round draft pick, who I think will get the first shot at will tonight or tomorrow night. Ventrell Miller, who I think is really going to be I like Ventrell Miller. He needs to stay on the field. Or Jack Kaiser, and I will tell you, they like Jack Kaiser now. They like Jack Kaiser. They like him a lot. So I want to see one of those 3 guys flash. I just said I see one of the defensive tackles flash. I want to see one of those 3 guys. And I'm like you. I'm looking forward to seeing Kaiser. I've heard enough about him now. At some point, if enough different people, not one person 4 times, different people numerous times say, you got to watch 54 now. There's something there. Yeah, I want to watch it. For that reason, I want to watch it.
When you look at secondary, what are you looking forward to seeing?
That's where for me, Travis Hunter and that other cornerback spot. Again, I know what Tyson Campbell can do. I'm looking forward to watching Jordan Lewis. Because he's made 2, one in the scrimmage, one in the practice, break on the ball, diving interceptions. So I'm looking forward to watching him too. I guess with me, Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker and Foye Oluokun and Tyson Campbell, I feel like I know what they can do. You with me on that? Mm-hmm. I feel like I know. I want to see the guys I don't know see what they can do. I'm really and I want to see how much Travis Hunter plays over there. I want to see if he starts the game. I mean, if the game starts, Steelers win the toss and defer, Jacksonville's on offense, we're all pretty sure they'll start with 3 receivers, and the 3 wide receivers that'll be Brian Thomas Jr., De'Ami Brown, and Travis Hunter. Right? I think we're all pretty sure about that. Parker Washington will be the next man up, but I think we're pretty sure that that'll be the 3. What about when the Jags go on defense for the first time? On defense for the first time, what will it be? Will it be Tyson Campbell in there in the nickel? Tyson Campbell, Jordan Lewis, and Jarian Jones, or Tyson Campbell, Jordan Lewis, and Travis Hunter?
I think it'll be Jarian Jones. I would think that if they're planning on starting Travis Hunter on defense, that's something you might want to hold back.
Yeah, I hear you.
Until week 1.
Yeah.
So I would anticipate seeing Jarian out there first.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. There's not a lot of secrets in the NFL, but if you got one that could be a quasi secret, if you haven't played him a lot to start the games, Carolina does come in here not knowing if he's going to start or not, right? Yeah, okay. So you think it'll be Jarian?
I think it'll be Jarian, and to be honest, I do think that Jarian has earned it. I mean, I think he's had a strong camp, and I don't know that that's where it will end up when the regular season gets here. But there's certainly no shame in giving him an attaboy and letting him be the first guy out there. Again, knowing that Travis Hunter is going to get some work tomorrow night at corner. But yeah, I would think to start the game, it'll be the 3 that you mentioned: Tyson, Jordan, and Jarian.
In secondary and with safeties, you want to see, because I think that's one of the biggest question marks on the team. I think Eric Murray's going to be good because he's been good. But I have no idea what to expect from that position either side.
That's the thing. They've been so good from a communication standpoint. You'd hate to see that unravel tomorrow with a couple of blown assignments with your first unit. I mean, if the third team, fourth guy, that could happen. But you wouldn't want – I'm assuming the Steelers are starting Mason Rudolph?
I would think – my guess is Mason Rudolph will play a quarter – and Skylar Thompson will play the rest of the game.
Yeah, so
that's my guess is what they will do.
Mason Rudolph he's not a great player.
But he's an NFL quarterback.
And he's seen enough to where if you miss something, if your communication isn't strong, he can certainly take advantage of that. So I think Murray is a starter. And I'm assuming Wingard is the other. It seems like they're going more with, let's go with guys that know where they're supposed to be, maybe. And again, Ransaw's injury complicates it because, I'm sure he was somebody they wanted to really hit the accelerator on to get him ready for the regular season. And now the injury has derailed that. But yeah, I would think again, the safety spot, if they make a play, that's great. But I'm not really counting on the safety spot delivering a bunch of takeaways. I think, that's Jordan Lewis, Tyson Campbell, Travis Hunter, hopefully the linebackers. But so just don't blow the momentum that you've had so far in camp.
Don't get beat over the top. I agree with that. We'll take a break. We'll wrap the hour after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
What's happening? Tommy Mack joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl for the new and improved Helmets and Heels.
So let me get this straight.
New attitude, new time.
What exactly is it I'm not supposed to know about?
Catch the new look Helmets and Heels afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beard's has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beard's has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beard's doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beard's Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beard's in the St. John's Town Center.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We look forward tomorrow. Don't look back, Caroline. Look forward.
It's good advice.
See what I did there?
I did. That was impressive.
It slipped one by me.
Where does this one rank for you on their?
It's in their second album, and I love the first album so much that it's hard for. Now I love Don't Look Back, and then Amanda, songs from their second and third album I like, but nothing compares to that first album. The first album was so good,
right? And
so it's hard for. I mean, it's the same sound,
yeah,
but it's hard for any of the Boston stuff other than the first album to resonate. Although I like the songs, so hard to resonate quite as much with me. What did you see last night that got your attention? Obviously, anybody with people that know, Anthony Richardson got hurt. He didn't see a blitz he should have seen. He got hit hard and stayed down. I thought it was like a big injury. I think you have to be
clavicle, maybe.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And so it was only a finger. His finger was dislocated. He came out of the game, but they think he'll be okay. He may be able to play next week some. But and Hayes said it perfectly at the top of the show. The issue wasn't the injury. The issue was how has he played this much football and he didn't have more of an awareness. Okay, it was his front side, and so I get that. So you saw that. What else in the 3 games last night, if anything, stood out to you?
Tyler Warren's going to be a problem. The Colts rookie tight end.
He's big and pretty.
He had a couple catches last night where, I mean, he easily beat coverage. And so Tyler Warren, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be, Brock Bowers.
He's going to be a good player. I agree with you.
But I was really impressed with what I saw.
I thought the same thing. I thought I didn't make Bowers is different because he runs like a receiver. I don't know if Tyler Warren quite does that, but you're right. He's today's big physical, catch the ball, make yards tight end.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. So, I mean, I thought that was interesting. I watched really just the first part of Raiders Seahawks, but then I went back and just saw all of Milroe's plays. If Jalen Milroe ever gets on the field in Seattle, he'll be a star.
I thought he looked like there's a point I thought he looked more like a running back in college than a quarterback. The one run last night from near the goal line, he looked like a running back. Now, Jalen Hurts looked like a running back. Some good running quarterbacks do. But, I mean, I thought he looked like a running back last night.
Yeah, I always am worried about, like, if you were a speed quarterback in college, will you look like that in the NFL? And Milroe did. Now, again, it's a preseason, second half of the preseason opener.
But he did.
So the Raiders aren't playing their top guys, but it was impressive. And I thought even his arm, his release, where he was going with the football, he had a nice pass to the sideline that wasn't brought in, but I think if he was throwing to a starter, there's a good chance that that's a completion. So I was impressed with Jalen Milroe. Now, again, it's Sam Darnold's team there, and Milroe may not get his shot, may not ever get a shot. But if he does, he's somebody that I think could have a bright future in the NFL. And, the Eagles have everything. I mean, they've got everything. So why shouldn't they have a great backup quarterback in Tanner McKee who can go in and complete 20 of 25? And again, I'm telling you right now, everybody's saying, well, the Jaguars, they need to beat Carolina in week 1 because they'll lose at Cincinnati. I don't know that they're going to lose that game. Now, obviously, you worry about Cincinnati's offense putting up a lot of points on you. Cincinnati can't stop anything. They couldn't last year. Their best player is disgruntled. Their first-round pick is disgruntled. So you don't really know how effective they're going to be. That's Hendrickson and Stewart. By week 2, if the Jaguars if they have the right combo of coaching and leadership, I think based on, again, it's just a first impression, but the Eagles dropped 34 last night and didn't play 25 of their top guys. So I don't know that the Jaguars can't go up to Cincinnati. And again, if they are really improved. If it's the same old stuff, they'll get beat. But if Liam Cohen is the real deal, I'm not convinced just hope to keep it close. I mean, I think they can go to Cincinnati and win a shootout.
I haven't over the years, even their really good year, I haven't been quite as impressed with Cincinnati as others have been. I get that. They're not a complete team. And we talk all the time, JJ, about what baseball teams are cheap, mainly because mine is. But football, you rarely hear talk about a cheap football team because there's a cap and a floor, and everybody spends about the same. The Bengals are a cheap football team. When you're still called cheap in a salary cap league, that's pretty bad. And they're considered to be a very cheap football team. So we'll see. Now, but to that point you made, I would agree with that. I think the Jags will have a better football team than Carolina. They go to Cincinnati, and then they come home to play Houston. I don't know that couldn't be a decent start. I mean, it's a home game against Houston. I think it gets sticky after that. But
it's interesting with Cincinnati and Houston because they're almost a total 180 of each other. Because Houston, I think defensively is elite. So that's a game where, like, you may only score 17 points in that. You may not even get to 17. I mean, I think you probably need to get to 17 to win the game. But offensively, I think they're going to be miserable again. I think their offensive line is worse. Mixon's hurt, so you don't know if Mixon's going to be available by week 3, or maybe even if he comes back, he gets re-injured.
They're certainly not unbeatable.
They're not balanced either. Now, it's the opposite way of Cincinnati.
Right.
The Jaguars might be balanced. Like, we know they've got certainly talent in their offensive passing game. We believe they've got talent. We know they've got talent on the edge, and we believe that there's some other pieces on that defense that have some talent, and they've got some other guys that if they take a step forward, they're at least the signs of a defense that's fairly complete, where they don't just have, again, assuming Armstead and Mason Smith get back, but you look at Houston, I don't know that Houston's going to be able to score. And I get it. They've got C.J. Stroud. They've got Nico Collins. But it's not going to matter if they can't run the ball and they can't protect. And then Cincinnati, I don't think is going to stop anybody all year. I mean, I think they're, from a fantasy perspective, get as much Burrow and Chase and Higgins as you can, because they're going to have to score 35 points a game.
Playing from behind. So it'll be interesting to see. A quick thought on the schedule. Carolina at Cincinnati, home against Houston, I don't think is a brutal, tough schedule. I mean, they're all tough. They're all NFL teams. And I know 2 of them are predicted playoff teams, but I don't. The stretch after that, at San Francisco, home against the Chiefs, home against Seattle, and then you go to London and anything can happen. So better get off to a good start. Let's take a break. Let's get some. I got a college football, not a rant, but I'm annoyed with something. Can I be annoyed?
Absolutely.
Can you be annoyed you can be annoyed on a Tuesday. Can you be annoyed on a Friday?
I love the segments. I hope it is a rant, because there's nothing better than a Frangie segment where you just rant for like 8 minutes and then we go to break.
Yeah, and I don't do it very often. It's not complete rant, but it's something that's annoying me. Okay. And I'm going to share it with you.
Feel free to accentuate is what I would say.
I'll do that. Hour 2 is next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
What this place needs is an excitement enema. We're going to make this place fast and loose.
Making mornings more fun than an enema. The Drill on 1010XL.
With Lee and Kate's glass, you're going to see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's glass, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guaranteed. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Put the ball in the net with 60 Minutes of Soccer Talk, the coaches show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
The
Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns as the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 23rd. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. With construction at Everbank Stadium, there will be a few changes for tomorrow's game. Gate 4 on the southeast end zone is now a super gate, directing fans to the fan entertainment zone, south end zone, Daly's Place, and the south escalators. Wayfinding signs will be throughout the parking lots and stadium for direction assistance. It's 83 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com. Hey, I'm a college football fan. You like college football? You like college football, don't you?
I love college football.
I love college. I'm getting excited about it. But can I tell you, can I share 4 phrases with you?
Wow, yeah.
Can I share 4 phrases? Rev share, house settlement, NIL, collective. I hope I never hear him again. I am so, I want to pull up Ross Dellinger, and I want Ross Dellinger to tell me if the Notre Dame quarterback CJ Carr is any good. You know what he tells me? Is what's going to happen with rev share. I'll pull up Pete Thamel. I want him to break news that the Oklahoma quarterback broke his knee. You know what Pete Thamel tells me? Whether or not the NILs are going to work. I'll pull up Pat Forty. I'll pull up Brad McMurphy. I'll pull up my buddy Matt Hayes. You know what I want them to tell me? Whether or not Walter Simmons is any good at Ole Miss. You know what they wind up telling me? Whether or not the house settlement's going to be challenged. I'm tired of the house settlement. Listen, I get it. We do it with sports and courts. Everyone does it. House settlement, house settlement, house settlement. I want to run down the street saying house settlement, rev share. Rev share, rev share. Hey, how you doing? Rev share, rev share. Hey. I'm now over it, okay? You realize college football is about to start? And I know, as sports talk show hosts, we have to talk about rev share and house settlement. But let me tell you how smart I am. For the longest time, I thought the house settlement had to do with the House of Representatives. It was 6 months in before I realized it was somebody named House that started the class action suit. Did you know that the whole time?
Yeah.
I didn't. Well,
yeah,
I didn't, okay? I'm a public school guy, okay? So I'm slower about that kind of stuff. So, I feel like I've seen it so much now. Can we talk about whether or not Texas is going to beat Ohio State? Because nobody's talking about that. What they're talking about is, does Texas have a better NIL set up and better collectives than Ohio State? That's all we're talking about. I've done it. I'm not being a hypocrite. We've done it with sports and courts, and Brett's done a great job. We've all done a great job. I'm over it. I want college football, and that's my take.
Yeah, it's well said, and I do feel for these
rev share.
Yeah, these national college football writers, because they've almost had to start, getting a law degree to cover college football, to know where this thing is headed legally. And again, it's not going to get any better. Now you're seeing today the reports of signing day, and they want to get the contracts aligned with signing day, which would move signing, because I think they want the contracts to be more like August to August, which is going to change signing day. And they only want there to be one portal window and not two. And there's legalities involved in that because what's interesting, this came out a few weeks ago, and I thought it was really interesting. The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NHL are already lobbying Congress to not give college sports antitrust protection.
Really?
Which is really interesting, which means they're not going to get it. So at some point, you'd like this to stabilize with a CBA and things like that. And at least then it would be a professional entity, but there would be rules and we could get back to more how good is the Oklahoma quarterback looking in camp. But we can't because the world is still very much in flux with this sport financially. So I totally hear you. I mean, the good news is we're close. We're close. We're like 22 days away from the really huge weekend, like LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, Miami, right. Alabama, FSU. And we're, I guess, then 15 days away from at least there being some college football on the field. But so we are close. But I agree. I mean, it's been brutal, and it's been brutal now for like 3 years.
And it's all we talk. And again, I for the fourth time, I'll say I'm as guilty as any. I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of this, but have we even talked about how Carson Beck has looked at Miami?
No.
I mean, that's a gigantic story. It's a kid from Jacksonville who went 24-3 as a starter for the Georgia Bulldogs, is now playing in the state. We're not talking about that because we're talking about NIL and we're talking about rev share. I mean, we because it's our show and we're Gator, we talk a lot about Lagway and whatnot, but we haven't talked about much else. I mean, how's Georgia going to be with a questionable quarterback? Why do so many people like Clemson? Why do they think they're so good? Do they have that many defensive linemen? Is this the year that A&M under Mike Elko finally breaks through? I mean, will Dan Mullen bring UNLV back? I mean, is Illinois really top 12 team with Brett Bielema? There's so much of that, but none of the national guys are writing about it. It's all, and by the way, those are all really good writers. Russ Dellinger's really good. Pat Forty's really good. Our buddy Matt Hayes is as good as he gets. He's one of my dear friends, and it's not their fault. That's the story that people want to read. But goodness gracious, I've said this before. I told you this. I said it on the air, and I spoke to a group. The college football is more screwed up than ever. More screwed up than ever. Yet college football is just fantastic because what happens on the field always overcomes what's screwed up. It was screwed up 40 years ago and 60 years ago when Alabama and Ohio State and USC were paying all the players and when they're doing it under the table, and everybody else was too. But it didn't matter because on Saturday, there's something about Saturday. If college football wasn't so dang Saturday, it wouldn't be so great. It is freaking Saturday in the fall. What in the world is better than a Saturday? If you're a college football fan, you wake up. It's
paradise.
When you wake up on Saturday, if you're a college football fan, and NFL fans are the same on Sunday, but it's different with NFL because it's fantasy and it's a different world. There's nothing about fantasy players that excites a college football fan. It's about the purity of that day. You wake up, man. The fall. You wake up on Labor Day weekend. You wake up Saturday morning. Game day's on. Oh, those eggs are good. That bacon's crisp, is what it is. I mean, there's something about it, and especially when the weather. It's harder in Florida, but when the weather starts to turn a little in the fall, I can tell you this: well, all those years of doing those games on Touchdown Radio, you'd get a game in the north. You'd get a game. You'd get a early October game in Columbus when the leaves had turned, and it wasn't cold. But it was going to dip into the low 50s by nighttime, and the game was going to be played about 68, 65, and place was packed. And my goodness, I hope we don't lose sight of that because we're so caught up in rev share and NIL.
Yeah, and I don't think we will because I think the college football fan connects, particularly when you get to be older, you connect that feeling to when you were a teenager going to the games, whether that was as a kid or whether that was as a student, or whether just as a young person, going. It's just there's something special, particularly for your team. You don't consider where your college team plays a stadium; it's a cathedral, and there's very few things in life that still can connect you to that from decades past. And it doesn't matter, like I'm 49. So for me, it's been, many years, 30 years since I was actually a student at Florida, going to games. But it's the same for the 79-year-old, the 89-year-old. They remember what it was like to be a kid going to the stadium, what the town feels like that morning. And it never escapes you. If you're passionate about college football, then you've had that experience many times. And if you've had that experience, it's in your soul.
And I think that's the beauty of it. And I hope it comes back and we quit talking about rev share. We'll take a break. Hayes is going to talk about headlines. That's after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You want to know more about your favorite football team. That's right. And John Osher delivers because O knows. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on 1010XL.
Make a statement as summer winds down with luxury. Experience the art of progress at Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville. Come test drive the sleek and powerful G70 or the versatile and refined GV80 SUV that's designed to elevate your journey. Enjoy exclusive offers and flexible financing. Showroom on Atlantic Boulevard or learn more at genesisofnortheastjacksonville.com for all life's journeys. Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville. Welcome to the family.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Summer is here, and that means it's time to feast on delicious Bono's St. Louis ribs. The small and large rib platters are at a low price to beat the summer heat, and you get 2 southern sides and garlic toast with each platter. It's an unbelievable deal that won't last long, so head to Bono's today to get your St. Louis ribs platter. I'm hungry now just talking about it. Head to Bono's today, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
What Jacksonville Jaguars player has scored the most touchdowns?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
With 81 touchdowns scored in his career, Maurice Jones-Drew is the all-time touchdown leader for the Jaguars. Fred Taylor is second with 70.
Southern Oak Insurance.
Like a lot of guys, Jacksonville's Mitch Fandel thought he could get a better deal on his engagement ring at one of those well-known big-box corporate jewelry stores at the town center. But then he discovered locally owned Beard's Diamonds.
Beard's had by far the largest selection.
And he couldn't believe the no middleman prices at Beard's.
We were able to afford, it was probably twice the size of what she wanted, stayed within my budget. I wanted to buy her a bigger ring than she wanted to get. Kind of a win-win for everybody.
But the best part, Mitch didn't feel like a number at Beard's. He got personal one-on-one attention with zero pressure.
Some of the other stores that we did go into, they were big corporate chains, so that might have played a factor into us not really getting the service that I was looking for.
Beard's Diamonds, with no commission salespeople and owners who are right here in Jacksonville.
Keeping local dollars in Jacksonville and in the community is great.
Beard's Diamonds.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beard's. You're going to get a great experience.
At St. John's Town Center.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we've got Jaguars football tomorrow night.
This weekend?
What are you excited about see tomorrow night?
Like there's a game?
Yes. When the
Uniforms?
Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers
in the stadium?
lock up.
They're going to play in the stadium?
They are. 60 minutes.
I told you this earlier. We all want to see Trevor throw the ball to Travis Hunter. I think that's first. The three receivers, I've been saying this since before they were together, that three receiver set and Trevor throwing it to him and Brenton Strange, that's first for me. I like their running back room. I think there's some parts on the defense, a piece of the defense that'll be good. But number one for me is Trevor to all those receivers in there together. I love that. Number two is everything Travis Hunter, like it is everybody else. So that's 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah, sounds good. A reminder for tomorrow, if you're going to the game, there will be construction outside the stadium. Why is that? Well, it's to support the roof that they're going to be putting on the new Stadium of the Future. So again, give yourself some extra time. Things may be a little different in terms of getting into the stadium, but once you're in the stadium, your normal experience will be fine. So just something to kind of keep an eye on. And again, you can go to Jaguars.com stadium for all the questions that you might have.
Can't wait. I'm very excited about the game, and you're right. Again, your experience once you're in the stadium will be the same. That's what they've been saying, and I totally agree with you.
Let's get it to around the NFL. Anthony Richardson was knocked out of the Colts preseason opener early last night after taking a blindside sack. The third-year veteran sustained a finger injury. It looked like a pinky dislocation, but he isn't expected to miss significant time. In fact, he might even be able to practice tomorrow.
Your read on that at the top of the show was dead on. It was the best read on this. His finger's going to be okay. And everybody up there has been raving about the fact that he's had his best camp, but he didn't see a front side blitz that even moderately veteran quarterbacks would see. And is that an indicator that he's going to have trouble ever becoming a guy that reads what the defense is doing? And that was a great take, and it was a dead-on take. But from a health standpoint, that's the story that's going around. It looks like he's going to be okay.
One Indianapolis Colt that looks like he could be a problem moving forward for the Jaguars, rookie tight end Tyler Warren. Boy, did he look impressive in limited work, but he got right into those seams and made a couple nice catches.
Yeah, when you see, I love Evan Ingram, and I love some of these move tight ends that are almost like wide receivers. But the guy that's all the rage these days is Gronk and Travis Kelce and these guys that are big and can really move because they're almost like offensive tackles that can outrun defensive backs, and they don't come along very often, Hayes. And your point is that it's a small sample size, but Tyler Warren, who obviously was talked about that even before the draft, looks like he might be that guy. The next great tight end, they're still looking for him. He might be it. He really, again, Kyle Pitts was supposed to be great because he's more like a wide receiver. It just never happened. This guy's more physical, and it looks like it will happen.
Staying with the Colts, they did get some really tough injury news. Third-round corner Justin Wally tore his ACL and will miss the season. That occurred in a joint practice with Baltimore, not in the game last night. But Wally was expected to be a starter for Indianapolis, so their corner situation really took a tough turn with this injury.
We've seen an assortment of injuries, haven't we? Early on in camp, kind of across the league a little bit, which is a bit of a concern, and that's a tough one for sure.
Absolutely. The Bengals played their starters last night against the Eagles. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase looked great. Burrow was 9 of 10 for 123 yards with 2 touchdowns and no picks. Chase had 4 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. The Eagles sat 25 players.
Yeah, and that's something that what a contrasting way to look at it. The Eagles, they're holding the trophy. What do they have to prove, right? And then pretty much their whole team's back. The Bengals the Bengals showed some promise a few years ago and have never reached that promise. As good as Burrow's been, he's never gotten over the top against Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, at least gotten to a higher level than those guys. So Zach Taylor, who's probably on the hot seat, probably said, look, we need to be ready to play this year. I was surprised, as you were, that the offensive stars played as much early on as they did.
Yeah, without a doubt. Staying with the Eagles, one young reserve that really looked good is former Florida State star receiver Johnny Wilson. He had 3 catches for 73 yards and really did display that catch radius that made him such a prolific collegiate.
Yeah, it was kind of cool seeing Jordan Travis recognize him on Twitter or on X. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Jordan Travis really called him out in a good way. Look, he's big and physical and go get the ball. Hayes, I don't know that Johnny Wilson can run away from defensive backs. There's more Mike Williams, Mike Evans in there than there is speed guy. But Mike Williams and Mike Evans are pretty good. If he can be that type of receiver, then he could be special in the league. I don't think he runs. I think that's the thing. But he certainly is a big physical target as a wide receiver.
The Seahawks and Raiders ended up in a tie as a field goal was blocked on the final play, and we do not do overtime in the preseason. Thankfully. Ashton Genty made his NFL debut. 3 carries, -1 yard, though. If you watched, never really had any space from that Raiders offensive line.
And I think he's a guy he will be better in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter when he's not Derrick Henry, but he is a guy that is widely durable, and he'll be a very good back. I wouldn't take too much out of a very small sample size.
You mentioned some major injuries in the NFL. The headliner, Rashawn Slater, out for the season after rupturing his patella, the outstanding Los Angeles Chargers left tackle. Joe Alt will now move to left tackle, and the Chargers will try and pick up the pieces. But just Jim Harbaugh called it just a gut punch to the solar plexus, losing Slater.
Alt's done it before. That's the good news. The bad news is you don't want him to have to. I think Slater, I told you this yesterday, the day before, I think Rashawn Slater's the best left tackle in the league that nobody talks about. You know, I mean, I think he is the best left tackle. I think he's the rising star. He's what Laramie Tunsil could have been, would have been. I think he's the best left tackle in the league. Again, nobody talks about him because he was at Northwestern, and then he was at the second most prominent team in his city. But he's a really good player. That's a tough loss.
There was some conflicting reports regarding Texans defensive back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It does appear that he avoided a torn ACL, but does have a significant knee injury. So we'll see if he's going to be available when the Texans come to Jacksonville in Week 3.
The former Florida Gators a really good player. Big part of that Eagles defense, big part of the Saints, the Eagles defense that was so good, big part of the Saints before that. He's a guy that not having him hurt you in many ways. I mean, he's a good player. He's a really good player. He's a physical player. He finds the ball. He also chirps so much that I think he uplifts the spirit of the defense. It's not like Jalen Ramsey, who I think sometimes even his own defenders are like, calm down. With CJ, it's different. So not having him will hurt them if they don't have him for a while.
3 games tonight in the NFL: Detroit at Atlanta, Cleveland at Carolina, and Washington at New England.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is probably the headliner tonight if you assume most of the good players aren't playing or not playing very long. I'm very intrigued to see what Shedeur Sanders looks like. Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback, but they got about 18 of them on the roster. So they're trying to find a quarterback. I'll be interested to see. I want to see Shedeur. I probably won't be watching the game live, but I'll go back and watch a lot of his performance.
Let's get to college football. LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier is dealing with patella tendonitis, but Coach Brian Kelly downplayed the ailment. The Tigers open at Clemson in 22 days.
That could be a big injury, man. That, just like we said about DJ Lagway, if there's any significance to it, and it looks like there's not to either. Garrett Nussmeier, with Brian Kelly not being on the hot seat's the wrong word, but keeping an eye, he's on the warming seat if they don't start out well. That is it, and everyone says Clemson is all world defensively. That is it. That would be the most significant college football injury we've heard about yet if he's not able to go in that game.
Without a doubt.
He's already not a very mobile guy.
Right. He's a drop. That's right. He's a pocket passer, So that injury could be significant.
Absolutely. Let's get it to Major League Baseball. Pittsburgh phenom Paul Skeens gets the win as Pirates blank the Reds 7-0. But he finally gives up 7 hits for the first time in his career, snapping a record 46-start streak. The 23-year-old Skeens is 7-8 on the season with an MLB best 1.94 ERA.
He's the best pitcher in baseball. He's the best pitcher. How about this stat, JJ? He's been up a year. I mean, he came and they brought him up in May last year. Okay, and it's August, so a year and some change. He's really been in a big league for a little over a year. In 10 of his 1 year, 10 of his starts, the Pirates shut out the other team.
That's amazing.
Think about that stat for JJ. Think about that.
They've been shut out in the next 10.
Really good point. But in 10 of his starts, 10, he just got here. And in 10 of his starts, they won. Now, again, they're not complete games because nobody throws those anymore. But in 10 of his starts, they won the game in a shutout. That's unheard. I'll bet you go back. I don't care if it's Koufax, Seaver, pick your guy, Gibson. Can anybody say a year in, 10 of their starts resulted in a shutout?
It's incredible. ESPN had this note as well. He hasn't given up a run at home in his last 5 starts, which is a streak that goes back to before they were keeping records of this.
Yeah,
it goes back at least a century. It's incredible.
And I will tell you, I watch every, as you know, I watch every pitch. He's virtually unhittable. I mean, he is virtually unhittable. I mean, you may square one up every now and then, and someone hits a 2-out double, and then the next guy strikes out or pops up. But it's a shame he's on such a lousy team that they're never going to win, and he'll be in pinstripes in 4 years. But forget it, regardless whether he's here, there, wherever. Honest to God, it's amazing how good he is. It really is.
Let's get to the PGA Tour's playoff. Tommy Fleetwood gets hot to take command at 13 under at the St. Jude Championship. 4-shot lead there for Fleetwood. He has gone 63-64 to open the tournament. Local product Bud Cauley and world number 1 Scotty Scheffler are both at 7 under.
I hope Fleetwood wins. Now, maybe not ahead of Bud Cauley because he's a local guy and I want to see Bud do well. But I felt so bad for Fleetwood when, I guess it was Harris English that won. Was it Harris or Keegan Bradley? Who won? Keegan Bradley.
Yes.
It was Keegan. I got it mixed up. So Keegan Bradley won when Fleetwood really collapsed. And good for Keegan. But gosh, I felt bad for Fleetwood. And he's going to get that win eventually. I hope he gets it.
Yeah, it looks like it certainly could be this weekend. In college basketball, ESPN has released its preseason top 25 and has the defending national champion Florida Gators second in their poll behind Purdue.
Yeah, I would expect the Gators, now that Condon is back, now that Xavier Lee is there, Boogie Fland is there, I would imagine they're going to be top 2 or 3 in just about every poll. I can't imagine, and they may not play to it. It's a brutal schedule, but I can't imagine that they're not in the top 2 or 3. Everyone thinks Purdue's great, and maybe they are, but I can't imagine there's many teams that at least start the season with higher expectations than Florida.
Without a doubt, we will get you out on our musical note of the day. On this day, back in 1963, the Kingsmen released Louie Louie, considered one of the greatest rock songs of all time. It's also arguably the most covered song of all time. Even the Kingsmen version is a cover. Richard Berry wrote Louie Louie in 1955, 8 years prior to the Kingsmen recording it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a cover when they did it.
I didn't either.
It's one of the most, you talk about a song that stands the test of time. Along with Shout, it might stand the test of time as well as any song ever written. Well done as always.
Thank you.
Back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
To get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
All right, we're winding down the end of a Friday program. The Jags on the field for the first time tomorrow night. They'll play the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7 o'clock, so we're certainly looking forward to that. I will say this. It's been a good camp. I would say it's been a good camp. I would say it's been a fun camp. So more than anything else, tomorrow is and you know what? We talked about this all before Camp Hayes. The whole Baselli, Gladstone, Liam Cohen thing has felt so healthy to everybody. I get asked a lot, and my answer is the same. Well, look, everybody's in a good mood when you're undefeated. I know that. But the vibe has been good. The whole pulling in the same direction stuff seems very real. You could feel it at the scrimmage. You could feel it after the scrimmage when it was sort of a family night and everybody was out there, right? Honestly, I think it's about as positive a first 3 weeks as the team could have, and I think that will continue tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so. You worry obviously about an injury that can reshape your season, but look, these guys have to get work. If that happens, you can't criticize the coaching staff. They've got to get ready for week 1. It doesn't matter if they get to the starting gate healthy if they're not ready to be physical. They have no chance if they're not ready to be physical. So it is a risk that you have to take. But, yeah, I agree with you. They've had a strong camp. I think it's the thing that I like about it, and maybe I just never realized how often success with the Jaguars in training camp has often been because of a mess up on the other side. This camp has been tight. Like when there's good plays to be made, when Brenton Strange is making a one-handed stab on the sideline, Devin Lloyd's right there. When, Travis Hunter, De'Ami Brown, BT, when they've made plays, it's been in tight coverage. Parker Washington the other day, catching a long pass between Wingard and Campbell. So that's what I think is encouraging. And the defensive side, they've made a lot of plays on their own. And not too many where you wonder, like, okay, well, what was the quarterback sort of thinking there? There have been a couple of moments of here, take this. That we're going to make a mistake and give you this, but not nearly to the level of what we've seen in the past. And again, I've really been impressed with Anthony Campanile in terms of just teaching the players the scheme, because it's obviously resonating with them. I mean, I haven't heard him even really raise his voice in team at all. Like, I mean, they haven't given him any reason to, because look, sometimes you're just going to get out athleted sometimes.
Right.
This is the NFL, but the defense hasn't just handed big plays by blowing coverages.
Yeah, I agree with that. The good plays have been good plays, not the result of bad plays. I agree with that. So what do you expect tonight from Shedeur Sanders? I mean, what will he play? Will it be like a starter? He plays a series or two? I get a hunch he's going to play a lot.
I think he almost has to, because Dylan Gabriel is out, the other rookie that they drafted a couple rounds ahead of Shedeur. And then obviously I think Pickett's out.
He is.
And so I know they've got a lot of guys, but obviously Deshaun Watson's not playing. So, yeah, I mean, I think they don't want to put Flacco out there. So, I think he's going to get the lion's share of the game tonight. And I don't buy this talk of they've set him up to fail. I mean, it's an opportunity to play in an NFL preseason game.
That's right.
So, I mean, what would be setting him up to fail is never giving him a chance to get out on the field. Again, even if it doesn't work out in Cleveland for Sanders, at least getting the opportunity tonight, the other clubs will be able to evaluate him and make a decision if Cleveland does release him of whether they want to pick him up. So, and I'm not saying he'll play bad. I have no idea what to expect from Shedeur Sanders. I'm definitely captivated to see what he does. So I'll be certainly locked in at some point tonight, going back to see what he did and watch it. But yeah, I mean, I just think embrace the opportunity if you're Shedeur Sanders. If it doesn't go well, it's not the end of the world. But boy, it would be something if he goes out there and lights it up. And, again, they're starting Joe Flacco. So just show any kind of signs of life, and Stefanski's going to feel it from their fan base of, why are we starting a decrepit has-been in Joe Flacco, who's a smart quarterback, but, he's not on the back nine of his career. He's driving away from the golf course.
Yeah, I agree.
And so if Shedeur Sanders can provide any kind of electricity, it might really catapult him in the race.
It'll be interesting to see, so we'll track that. Speaking of Shedeur, what's your guess on what becomes of Colorado? I mean, look, they were Deion's done a good job. He did a good job at Jackson State, which got him the Colorado job. And he did a good job at Colorado, particularly in his second year. But the reality is he's had Shedeur and this Travis Hunter guy the whole time. Will they be ordinary? Well, has he recruited? And he's a portal guy, clear portal guy. And I couldn't even tell you their players, by the way. I couldn't even tell you any. I don't know anything about them, and I don't follow whatever conference they're in now. I guess they're Big 12 now. What do you think? I mean, are we going to look up and they're winning 10 or 11 every year, and he's the hottest coach around?
I don't see that. No, I think they'll be sort of middling. I will say they must have had some pretty good talent on that team last year besides Hunter and Sanders, because the Ravens had a punt returner last night. It's a rookie, 6th-round pick from Colorado, and he looked like Devin Hester returning punts. Now, I don't know whether that's that Indianapolis hasn't worked on special teams all camp. But he had one where he nearly broke it, had a nice return. And then on the second one, he was gone for 87 yards.
Right.
And it wasn't just like he caught the ball, split it, and went. He had to kind of navigate some tight quarters in the first couple of seconds after fielding the punt. And I'd never heard of him.
Right.
So they obviously had, because, that's going to be now obviously the Ravens punt returner. So, there must have been talent. So he's got a good eye for it.
Well, yeah.
And so
I think he's a good coach.
Yeah. So I would think, it'll never be certainly, I don't think they'll ever perennially be in the playoff. But I would think a fair expectation is 7 to 9 wins. The thing with Deion is just going to be how long does he still want to coach at Colorado before he either wants to move on or wants to move on to a different element of his life.
And his health situation, by his own admission, he's had some health scares. And so he's 57. So, it's interesting. As great a player as he was, because of the health scares, he almost feels like an older 57, And so,
in the beard.
Yeah, in the beard, in the white beard.
By the way, they're 6.5. Is their win total over under, which puts them smack dab in the middle of the Big 12. So they're not expected to do much of anything.
Isn't that it? Okay, so 6.5. Interesting. All right. So we'll see. By the way, I'm glad you brought that up. Does anybody bet on preseason games? Is that a thing?
I don't know anyone who does, but I'm sure it happens.
There's lines.
People with problems.
Yeah. I mean, but there's lines.
Yeah, there is.
I wonder.
They'll take a bet on anything if you're willing to bet it.
And when I ask that, I say, I tell myself, well, Frank, there's prop bets everywhere on silly stuff. Why wouldn't you bet on a football game? But you're betting on a bunch of guys you have no idea, right? I wonder.
And you don't know how long they're even going to play.
But in today's world of so much gambling, my guess is probably do, right?
I would think. I don't know to what level. I'm sure once the regular season hits, it goes up by 1,000%. But yeah, to your point, if they've created a line, that's because there's a demand for that line and somebody wants to bet it. So yeah, by the way, I like the Jaguars to cover tomorrow.
Okay. And having said that,
I think they're 5.5 point favorites.
But I really wonder, do people bet on preseason games?
I'm not a bettor. I've never had a friend that is at least admitted to me
right.
that they've bet on an NFL preseason game.
I don't. And listen, I got buddies that watch horse racing all day long and bet on them. Okay, that's what they do. They turn on the bet. They turn on some horse race at 10 in the morning. And they bet on the horse race.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
You have an idea of what the horse has done and is going to do. This is such a crapshoot. You literally have the coaches will play the starters for a quarter, sometimes a half, and they never tell you. It's to me, that's even crazier than betting on animals.
So they're not going to pull Secretariat at the quarter turn of the race?
So
that's it. Shut them down. We've seen enough. Let's get them ready.
I don't want to get them hurt.
Yeah.
So he's the Jags, I should say, are 4-point favorites if you're interested.
That's easy. Easy money.
We'll take a break. We will wrap the program. Say hello to Rick Ballou. Come up next.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NASCAR Racing Sunday at Watkins Glen in New York. It's the 5th road course event of the season, and 3 races remain before the start of the 10-race playoff. It's a go bowling at the Glen. They'll go 90 laps around the nearly 2.5-mile circuit featuring 11 turns. Shane Van Gisbergen, who has 3 wins this season, all on road courses, is the betting favorite at plus 150. Connor Zilchich, another road course expert, at plus 500. Michael McDowell at plus 1,200. Chase Elliott is plus 1,300. Christopher Bell at plus 1,400. Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger, both at plus 1,600 to win the Go Bowling at the Glen. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the G-Bank Signature Visa Card at bsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teens ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
Looking for summer fun the whole family can enjoy? Check out Wick, a candle bar. Make your own custom candles and body care products in store at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where we've been on the show today, we talked Jaguar football. We kind of went position by position and what you expect to see, what you hope to see tomorrow night when the Jags and the Steelers get together, preseason game number 1. And that really was what we did. We talked a little college football. Hayes did a good job on headlines, but really it's all about Steelers and Jags coming up tomorrow night. Reminder one more time, it's going to be a little different when you go to the game. I'm parking in a different spot. You're parking in a different spot. I think we all are. Everything's going to be a little bit different, but don't be dismayed by that. Once you get into the stadium, it's going to be just like it always is. Full capacity, your seat. Concessions are the same. It's just they're trying to, and again, all of it is in the name of building this state-of-the-art stadium with this great roof, and it's going to be pretty incredible. It really is. It's going to be really an incredible venue. But this also allowed them to do it with only moving games out of Jacksonville for 1 year, which is really a cool thing. So they're getting it right. It'll be a little bit a clunkier getting in, but look, understand that it's all for the good of having a gorgeous stadium, and you'll be in there watching your team tomorrow night.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like 3 years from tonight?
Right. Oh, I know.
When it's the first Jaguar game at the stadium of what then will be the stadium of the present, not the stadium of the future.
It really
it's
will
3
be.
years away.
I know.
We will blink, and we will be talking about how much we can't wait to go inside and cover it or call our first Jaguar game in that facility.
I agree, and I'll tell you, and I say it a lot. This isn't just a renovated stadium. It's not just a new stadium or renovated. I mean, imagine a roof, yet one that light can come through, but I mean, it's pretty amazing. Or you can see out, but it doesn't come through. You're protected from rain. You're protected from sunlight. Yet you can look. It's pretty. It's going to be a pretty amazing thing. It's almost like how Mark Lemmy described it to us. Almost like shaded sunglasses that you can't see in, but you can see out. It's going to be. It's amazing what this stadium is going to be. It really is.
Without a doubt. And it was really cool hearing Lamping describe how in the corners, all that's coming out. Like the corners are going to be open. So they're going to, in the current stadium, the four corners, they've got to cut all of that out. So it really will be a fantastic process to watch it. It's been a lot of fun watching on the other side of the street, watching the Four Seasons and the office buildings there, which obviously they're much further along with that. Right. But it just gets you excited because you're starting to see what the potential is here, and it's incredible. It always has been, and now that energy is being harnessed, that potential is being harnessed, and it's going to be spectacular over the next 25 years here.
Yeah, I will tell you, too, I'm glad you brought it up. That across the street's cool looking. I mean, you can now see kind of how this Four Seasons is going to be shaped. You got that, plus the building next door to it, and all the Jaguar offices are going to be in there. You can get a pretty good feel, and it's going to be right on the marina, rather. You can kind of get a feel for what that's going to be. We've waited a long time for real development by that stadium, a long time. And there's never been development by the stadium. There never has been. There's a few things here and there by the arena, but they've never really developed the area by the stadium and across the street. It's going to be pretty cool. And I think it's just the start of it, too. Again, you heard talk about it. We talked about it. Councilman Joe Carlucci, who's prominent among those trying to bring the Hard Rock, the Seminole Hard Rock, or the Hard Rock Hotel, not Seminole Hard, there's not a casino, but the Hard Rock Hotel down there too. So finally we're going to be developing Bay Street. So
I know you're jumping out of here. Give us a score before you head out.
I think Jack's 54-3.
54-3? That's it?
I tell you what, when Johnny Wolford gets loose in that naked boot, forget about it. You'll say hello to Rick Ballou.
All right.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick Ballou with us now. That was fun doing Duval Rundown this morning. We covered a lot of topics. What's got your attention going into tomorrow night's game?
The most important thing I want to see tomorrow night, well, there's several, and I'm going to go through it in my show, but I'll just give you one. How about a clean game by the starters? We had 5, or they had 5. Did I just say we? I'm not part of the offensive line, am I? I guess I could be at Florida State right now. That's what Moles are telling me over there. But anyway, 5 false starts, bad penalties on Tuesday, a couple on Wednesday. We know that 20-some-odd starters are not going to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why not come out and play a very efficient game, but a very clean game? I mean, if it's a debatable, did you hit him to the echo of the whistle, and it's a play where you're juiced and you're showing a lot of effort, okay, that's one thing. That's a mistake. But if it's a mental mistake, if you're jumping off sides, that's got to be the one thing that I would think that Liam Cohen, that offensive staff, absolutely cannot have happen tomorrow.
Yeah, it's great points. You mentioned Florida State. Just give us a tease. What are you sort of hearing about their practices?
I'm going to do exactly what Mike Norvell wants. I'm not going to talk about him at all. He doesn't want any attention. He's got everything set over there. I've heard all sorts of crazy things today. I heard from one individual who said that Thomas Castellanos is leaving the pocket too much and too soon, My buddy James Coleman hits me on Twitter and says, I'd argue that he's leaving too late. Okay?
Wow.
So there's one good eye and another good eye. That's the perfect reason right there why you let the media go out so I can form my own opinion. Now I'm basing it on really good sources, good football people who have a totally different perspective.
What do you
Isn't that
got
amazing
coming
how
up?
that works?
Absolutely. It's stunning.
Because I think it was you. It was the other day where we were debating. I think it was you, Hayes. If not, I stand corrected. But we were debating on a touchdown pass by Trevor whether or not in a game situation he would have been sacked.
Right.
They didn't have pads on. So it comes down to the reporters. What do you think would have happened if it was a game? And you can have an opinion, I can have an opinion, be totally different watching the same play. Well, apparently that was 2 hours worth of practice today.
All that coming up?
That's all here.
All right, we'll be listening. Into the Night with Rick Ballou is up next. Have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to seeing you at the stadium. Remember the construction. Give yourself some extra time and be patient. That's going to do it for us. For Frank Frangie, for JJ LaSelva, I am Hayes Carline. Have a wonderful weekend. Into the Night with Rick Ballou up next on 92.5 FM.